Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is 12:09. I promised everyone we would go live at 12 with this particular message, so I apologize for underestimating the amount of time it was going to take for me to get home and for me to get myself settled in order to share this information with you guys. So, let me see. I am live. All right, just making sure. Thank you, Kat. Just making sure that people could see me. I was like, I don't know if people can see me. I'm using a different I'm using a streaming platform because the streaming platform is the only thing that allows me to not lose my connection to the internet. So, I didn't know if people could see me. So, hey, greetings to everyone. So, we are going to start talking about this particular subject. And I'm going to give some information and some insight over generations of experience, generations of reversal work. No, I don't have to pay for the platform, but thank you for asking. Generations of reversal work. And this came to me because I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers. So, you know how they always say, who heals the healer? So, I have YouTubers that I listen to that keep me on point and that keep my mind, sharp. So, one of my favorite YouTubers is Marie Goodson. She's currently living in Ghana, but when I first started listening to her, she was living in California. She's originally from Brooklyn, from New York, and she moved on to live in North Carolina. She's traveled all over the world, and she lived in the Dominican Republic for a little while, but now she's currently living in Ghana. So yes, Blackberry Beauty. She has been my favorite YouTuber for the past 16 years, 15 years, 16 or 15 years. And she is always delivering a good word. So this morning she was talking about how there was a time when she was in a relationship and when she broke up with the person, he started dating someone else and her feelings were hurt and she was feeling bad. And she decided to go home to her mother. And when she got home to her mother's house, her mother had strategically placed, what do we used to call those things? Photo albums around the house. And in those photo albums were pictures of her looking absolutely stunning. Now, she is a breathtakingly beautiful woman. But in addition to that, she is also a fashionista. She's like a fashion guru. She dresses in ways that like blow your mind. So in addition to being absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous face, absolutely gorgeous body, she's a dresser. She be dressing down. She fly, as we would have said back in my day. But she had gotten into this relationship and the relationship had drained her. And so she had lost her spark. And in losing her spark, she had also begun to feel bad about herself. And so when she came home to her mother to visit her mother didn't say anything. She just strategically placed these photo albums and they were open and it was pictures of her, just looking stunning. Like I said, she's gorgeous, so she always looks good, but you have those pictures where you was still in the show. You was the showstopper that day. So her mother made sure she saw those things. And she said within no time, she felt back to her old self. Her mother said, oh, remember this? Remember we went and did this and you wore that? And remember we did this and you had that on? And she felt back to herself. She began to feel back to herself. And as I was listening to what she was saying and co-signing and agreeing, I began to reminisce on some of my own experiences that were the same. And the one that stands out the most in my mind, I know there was active, conscious work done against me, done negatively towards me to put me in this relationship and to keep me in this relationship. I know because the person told me. Anyway, I was in the relationship with the person for a very, very long time. And when I first met the person, I wasn't necessarily attracted, and their personality didn't necessarily draw me in. But we spent a little bit of time together, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I don't know." I wasn't sure. And then suddenly, one day, I began to feel much more attracted to the person. And after that day, we were together. We were inseparable. We worked together. We created businesses together. We created elays together. We created African centered homeschools together. We were the spiritual mentors for the African centered community center in our community. Like, we were stuck like glue. So going from, I don't really think I'm attracted to, I think I'm attracted to this person, to being inseparable, I didn't pay attention to it. I was young, and I remember my mother warning me, and my brothers warning me. Something is off about this. This is moving fast. This is doing this. This is doing that. I don't know. This isn't usually your type. This isn't the type of person that you're usually attracted to. I don't know. This person doesn't seem like they're on your level, and your family, outside of your mother. If you have a black mama, black mamas are outspoken, and it's fine. I love it, and it's healing, and it's healthy, and it's good for us. Outside of your mother, your family is not necessarily gonna say, "That ain't it, player. No, player, that ain't it." Now your friends might say it, and my friends were saying it too. But I was caught up in, at the time, what felt like a whirlwind romance. Yep, see? And I rolled with it. I went with it. But it didn't feel real. And I'm giving you guys these pointers so that you will know when somebody is doing work on you to keep you in a situation. And I hope and pray that everybody in this live know what work means, right? So somebody's doing work. So it didn't feel real. And I've described it to many people in my life. I said, I feel like I met the person, and then one day I woke up and I was the person's wife. That's what it felt like to me. I remember, the wedding and the honeymoon and the things. I remember the things that were happening. But the way that the experience felt was, I met you and now I'm your wife. And now we have children. And now it just felt like stuff was happening. And I felt like I was in a haze all the time. I always felt like I was in a haze, you know? And I knew something was off, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And at around that time, my mother became ill. So she was giving me warnings from the beginning, as long as she was well enough to do it. And she was like, something isn't right about that. I don't like that person. Their energy doesn't feel safe. The energy doesn't feel safe, is what my mother was saying. And the person that I was with before them was physically abusive. And so when she was saying the energy doesn't feel safe, I was saying, oh, he's not hitting me. And she said, that's not what I said. I said, something about this energy doesn't feel safe. And I didn't listen. I didn't pay attention. I heard what she said, but I didn't listen. This is, I'm giving you the cues. These are the ways that right? These are the ways that And I didn't have a distrust of my mother. I didn't have a distrust of her advice. But when she said that, I didn't listen. So she had my brother call me, my oldest brother call me and say the same thing. And then say how he was feeling about it. And I still didn't listen. Right? This is not my normal way of acting. And I felt like I was in a haze. And right before I met the person, I've always had like a whole lot of hair, as y'all noticed. I got a lot of hair. And right before I met this person, I had cut my hair down super, super low. And I cut it. I was in school. I was the mother of two small children. I was trying to finish up with that particular degree. And I also was working. And I just didn't have time to do everything that was required for hair, a lot of hair. And so I cut it. I had a little shortcut, and I would wear it. You put your little products in it, you wear it kind of curly or whatever. And I would just go to the barbershop and get it cut. And I remember the person that I was dating claimed that he knew how to cut hair and that I didn't have to go to the barbershop and he could just cut my hair. And I didn't trust it, but I said, okay. And he fucked my shit up. And I was out here looking crazy. And from us getting together, that was the first point of me looking crazy. I'm not that type of person. I was raised to take a lot of care in how you look. I was raised that is my birthright as a woman, as a femme, as a person who walks in the feminine energy. I was raised very much lean into, your beautiful silk robe and your care and your perfumes and your oils and your bathing products. My grandmother had the bath salts and the bubbling oil and all the different things. And so I was raised as that kind of woman. But I got with this person, I feeling like I'm in this haze. He fucks up my haircut. And from that point, it was some sort of your physical appearance is not that important thing, and I can't remember now because it's been decades ago. All praises to Oshun who saved me. But I don't know if it was said or if it was implied. And so I won't say I fell off. I won't even say I let myself go. Because if you look at pictures, you can see that I'm still like stylish, but it was not me. It wasn't my level of doing things. It wasn't my level of taking care of my body and my hair and my clothes it wasn't that. It wasn't that. And so I kind of stayed in that haze for a very long time. And then one of my godchildren gifted me in the year 2000 with Queen Afua's book, Sacred Woman. And in the year 1999, I went to Nigeria. And while I was in Nigeria, I made it a point to go to visit the Oshun Grove. Now, in those times, the festivals and things had not been revived, and very few people were outwardly worshiping the Orisha in Nigeria. So when I told the driver that we had hired that I wanted to go to the Oshun Grove, he was angry. He didn't want to take me. He said he was Christian. He didn't do those types of things. But, I talked him into it, and I was at the Oshun Grove. And when I went to the Oshun Grove, I said, well, I have to go down to the river and make an offering to Oshun. And he said, well, if you go and do that, then I'm just going to drive away and leave you. Like, those things are demonic. Those things are bad. This is what the Yoruba man was telling me. And I was like, well, I'll just have to hire another driver because I can't go to the Oshun Grove and not go to the river and make an offering to Oshun. I'm a priestess of Oshun. And so I went to the river and I prayed to Oshun and I felt the cool, sweet water. Never in my life have I tasted and touched water that was that cool and sweet. It was the presence of Oshun. And I asked for help. I had just went through like a difficult pregnancy. I had almost lost my life giving birth. And I was just out of sorts and had been out of sorts for a long time. And I asked Oshun to help me and to bring me out of whatever this was I was in and to heal me and to bring me back to myself. And so when I got back to the United States and my goddaughter handed me the book Sacred Woman, this particular goddaughter I had initiated into Oshun as well. And she handed me the book Sacred Woman. And from when the book hit my hand, I knew this was Oshun's answer. Now, in this book were ways to take exquisitely good care of yourself. And you get up early in the morning and you take a bath. And guess what? In the bath, you put sweet smelling oils and sweet smelling salts. And I was like, this is familiar. And you rise up early in the morning before anybody else wakes up in your house, before your husband wakes up, before your children wake up, and you bathe. You get in the water with the salt and the oils and the smell goods, and you light you a candle. And I was like, this something about this is familiar. But I was doing it because I wanted to be whole. I wasn't feeling whole, and I wanted to be whole. So I would get up in the morning and I would take me a bath. And then when you get up in the morning and you take a bath, then you also drink this herbal tea. Oh, this is so familiar. Where have I heard this before? This is me, right? In the year 2000, when I got the book. Where have I heard this before? Where have I experienced this before? So you get up in the morning, you take your bath, you drink your tea. Okay. Now, all of the food that you eat, you should make it yourself. You shouldn't be out here, not that I was doing this, but you shouldn't, be running to McDonald's or Mrs. Winter's, which doesn't exist anymore, but y'all go with me, right? Let me cook. Mrs. Winter's or down to the Popeyes for your breakfast, you should be making it yourself. This sounds so familiar. Where have I heard this before? So I began to create, and prioritize making my own food and making sure that it didn't have processed food in it. Now, in the original Sacred Woman, Queen Afua very much says it's important for you to be vegan. That is, the lifestyle of the book. And so I became vegan. I had been vegetarian for many years, but I became vegan in the year 2000. And in the year 2000, you could not find vegan food outside of your home anyway. So even if I had wanted to, there were not vegan restaurants. There were not, very few vegan things in the store, vegan processed items. So becoming vegan very much meant that I had to return to the lifestyle that I had been raised with of making my own food. Now, Queen Afua was like, in the Sacred Woman, adorn yourself beautifully. Take good care of your hair. Use these oils and put them in your hair. Use these types of oils and put them on your skin. Use particular types of soaps for your body and oils and washes and things of this nature. Put your mask on at least once a week. Do a beautiful clay mask on your face and sit and take the time for yourself and sip your tea and say these affirmations and wrap your womb up after you've had a child to help your uterus come back up into the right position. And if your uterus begins to wear waist beads so that you can gauge what your body is doing, is my uterus prolapsing? Is something changing in my body? Your waist beads and how they fit will let you know. And so I'm reading the book and I'm doing the things. And as I'm reading the book and doing the things, I'm being reminded that this is how I was raised. This is the kind of care for myself that I was raised to take. This is how I was raised to eat. I remember when McDonald's was opened up in my hometown. I remember when Pizza Hut opened up in my hometown. I remember the first Chinese restaurant and Taco Bell and things. We didn't have that growing up. So we cooked food from scratch. I was raised to cook food from scratch and to do things in that way. So as I was reading Sacred Woman, I was remembering, wait, this is who I've always been. This is a reminder of who I have been. And so I began the practice, or not even began, but I reinstated the practices of taking exquisitely good care of myself. And as I began to do this and make it my norm again, the way it had been when I was a child, I could slowly feel myself coming out of the haze. And I looked around and I was like, why am I this house isn't appropriate. This house isn't it isn't what we need. This house isn't I have too many children to be in a house this small. I have too much going on to live in a house like this. This house is how did I come to be living here? Why am I here in this kind of space? And I would go out and get in the car, and we had 4 children, but we had this little bitty tiny car, the kind of car that you would have if you had like one child. But we would all squeeze up in there with the car seats and the this and the that. And I was like, why do we have this little bitty car? It's like I hadn't seen any of those things before, but I began to see them. My eyes were opened suddenly, and I was like, wait, this isn't correct. This doesn't work for us. This is less, significantly less than what we should have. And so then I began to query the person who was in charge of the finances and say, why is that we need a bigger house and we need a second car. We only have one car. You work over here, I work over here. We need 2 cars. We need more than one car. And we need a van. We need a minivan. We have too many children and too many car seats to try to put all of that in a car. Like, we need a van. It was like I was waking up and seeing. My eyes had been closed. I had been asleep. I had been down. I had been low for so long. But as I started those practices of taking care of myself, my eyes were open and I remembered who the hell I am. I remembered it. And I remember the day of having that epiphany. Girl, how did you get in this situation? What in the hell? How has this happened? I remember having the epiphany and knowing then that I was not going to stay. That anyone that would take a woman like me and squeeze her into this small, tiny space that there was no way she could fit into wasn't a person who was fit to be my divine partner in life. I remember the day I realized that. And I wept, oh my God, because I knew I was about to blow up my life. Because I knew I couldn't do it, not one more day. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was being squeezed. I was shrunk. I was being, forced to fit into a space that I couldn't. All of my abundance and all of my juiciness and all of my goodness was being forced into a tiny little hole that this person could manage. And I could not figure out how the hell that had happened to me in the first place. And for years, I didn't know. Even after I left the marriage, I didn't know. But what I continue to do for years and what I have preached to you all for years is you must take exquisitely good care of yourself. When you take the time to bathe yourself, you have a bathing morning rite. As you are touching this body and cleaning this body, you are connecting with yourself. You are remembering and seeing in real time who and what you are. This is a technology that our grandmothers taught us. It was our grandmothers who said, bathe twice a day. Get in that tub. Get in that shower. Take that bucket bath. Right? As you are bathing, you are connecting with yourself. Right? You are seeing yourself. You are gazing upon the magnificence of you. Right? Oh, wow. Look at these arms. They so golden and pretty. Wow. Look at these hands. In addition to being so gorgeous, they've done so many things for me today. Look at this body. This body has got it going on. This body, well, I'm a little fine. I'm fine out here, right? That's what happens when you take a bath, right? You take that time to take that bath, that shower, that bucket bath, whatever your situation is. This isn't based on an economic level. It's not based on that. When I was conceived, the house that I lived in did not have running water. So I'm not talking about something that you got to have a certain kind of house to do. Right? Some of my Caribbean family and brothers and sisters believe that only in the Caribbean was they taking bucket baths. I come from a bucket bath house too. We was doing that in the US too. Don't let nobody fool you. When I was born, we didn't have running water in my house either. And my mama was going and getting water from the well. All right. So if you taking a bucket bath, this you ain't excluded. Right? Your grandmama still taught you to bathe twice a day. And I'm telling you why. Because when you in that tub, you reconnecting. And let me tell you something, water is a portal into the spiritual dimensions. So you get in that water, you put that water on yourself, you are connecting with the spirit realm. You are connecting with the Orisha. You are connecting with your ancestors. Water is a portal. So you in there, you pouring the water over yourself, you rinsing yourself off, you hearing the water hit the ground. It's a whole experience. It is a ritual. And you get out of the tub. What your grandmama teach you to do? Black people, what your grandmama teach you to do when you get out of that tub? You put on some oil, you put on some lotion. My one of my exes from Guyana used to say you cream your skin, right? You put on some oil, you put on some lotion, right? Again, connecting with your body. You connecting with yourself. Now, if you use a natural oil or lotion, if you use some shea butter or some coconut oil, even more, because that thing too is a connection to the spirit realm. You're connecting with yourself. You're remembering who you are, and you are empowering yourself with that action. Putting that coconut oil, that's boosting you up. And the reason our ancestors use shea butter and coconut oil is because those two oils connect to your ori. In Yoruba land, we call shea butter ori butter. Coconut oil is one of the tools that is used to feed your head. It connects you to your ori, your head, your highest self, your highest consciousness. So you get in there, you oil down, connecting with your head, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with the Orisha. And then you drink your tea. You sip you some herbal tea, some bush tea, as we call it in the West Indies, right? And what's that connecting you back to? The earth, your body, yourself, the deities, the Orisha. This isn't, there's nothing highly specific about this prescription. It is just the care that you're taking for yourself. You drink your tea, and then you get plenty of good rest. And you wake up in the morning, you rise early with the sun, preferably, and you wash again. Reconnect yourself with the waters. You reconnect yourself with the deities, and you oil again. You reconnect yourself with Earth Mother. Reconnect yourself with your head, with your highest consciousness. Reconnect yourself with your ancestors, and you drink some more bush tea. Reconnecting. And then you prepare yourself some food. You love yourself so much that you take time to prepare yourself some food from scratch with the best of ingredients. And by the best, I mean they're not full of preservatives and they're not processed. And you make yourself a good meal and you eat well. You fuel yourself. You make sure you're full of something good. When you take these steps, that is enough to break any spell. Like that. Like that. Because a spell and any negative spiritual action against you, the foundation of how it works is that it takes you outside of your body. You can look as a spiritual worker, I can look at someone and tell when they've got something on them. Because there is a look when people are outside of their bodies. I can look at a woman and tell when she's in a bad relationship. because there is a look and a vacancy that people have when they are outside of their bodies. I can look at a Black person and tell when they are suffering from the horror and the spell of white supremacy. Because there is a look when you are outside of yourself and when you are trying to mimic whiteness, right? I can look and see it now because I've been doing it for many years and because I have experienced it. And when you are in the throes of being drained by someone and consumed by someone, you can look in the mirror and see that you ain't in there. Am I lying? Amen, lights. As my preacher used to say back at the AME church, amen, lights. Y'all don't hear me though. When someone is draining you, or when a system is draining you, or a person is draining you, or a relationship is draining you, you can look in the mirror and note the lack of yourself in there. The way to break it is always going to be take exquisitely good care of yourself. Start with the good care of yourself. Now, I know what you are thinking because I have been there. So the first thing, that beginning process of bathing twice a day is going to be one of the hardest things that you've ever done when you are doing it to break a spell. And you're going to come up with 735 different reasons that you can't do it. Oh, I can't get up that early. I'm going to be so tired for the rest of the day. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, I have to take care of the children. Oh, I have to do something for my husband. Oh, I don't really like taking baths all like that. You know, I just take the one bath a day that is absolutely necessary. I don't really do all that kind of so I'm not really into all that girly stuff. You're going to have 735 different reasons not to begin the process of taking 2 baths a day. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. So that first step is going to be the most difficult. But baby, when you get in that tub that first time, when you prepare that bucket bath for yourself that first time, when you get in that shower that first time, it can be a bath, it can be a shower, or it can be a bucket bath, Sister Dr. Duga. It can be any of those, right? When you get in that first time, you're going to weep. That first time you take that bath, just for the purpose of getting back to yourself, baby, you're going to weep because your body feels you coming back into her. And she's going to weep for joy. And weeping releases some of those internal, what would we call elixirs that are keeping you bound. It's a release. It's letting them out. Weeping is a detox. So when you get in that first extra bath, now not your regular daily bath, but the literal extra bath that you are taking because you know that you are low. When you get in that first one, baby, you're going to weep, and you might heave with the weeping. You might get all the way down into it, and the deeper the weeping, the better. But by the time you have done it for 3 days, you're going to be hooked. It's going to be like an addiction. Oh, you can't wait to take that extra bath. Right? Now, I'm going to say it again. It can be a bath. It can be a shower. It can be a bucket bath. Whatever you have at your disposal is going to work. Our grandmothers have been teaching us to do this before bathtubs existed. So a bathtub is not necessary. Now, if you prefer to do it in a bathtub, go ahead and call that reality to you if you don't already have that reality. But don't let not having a bathtub keep you from bringing yourself up out of this low state. So that first time going to be the hardest. Right? It's going to be hard. You're going to have 732 reasons. I can't do it. I ain't got time. Oop, I meant to do it today, but my alarm didn't go off. Uh-oh, I overslept. Uh-oh, I ain't got no soap. Uh-oh, it's going to be reasons. And you know what them reasons are? It's that negativity that has been put in you by that spell, trying to talk you out of coming up out of there. And don't tell the person. If you have a mate, don't tell the mate. If you live with somebody, don't tell them. If you got a close best friend, don't tell them. Don't tell nobody. Tell your head and your spiritual practitioner. If your practitioner said you need to take some baths, talk to them. Talk to your journal about it. Don't tell nobody that's close to you, because it's somebody that's close to you that's done put the thing on you. And you don't never know who it is. Sometimes it be more than one person. Sometimes it be more than one thing. Amen, lights? Amen. All right. Get in that first bath that first time. Push, and you're going to have to push yourself. When you're low, the first thing to go is your self-image and your self-care. That's the first thing to go. So I'm bringing this up because I don't want to make it seem that I am over here thinking that this is going to be easy. I've had to do it. So I know that it is not easy. I know that you don't have the energy to do it. I know that you don't feel like doing it. You don't have the motivation to do it, right? You're not feeling drawn to do it. I know that. What I am saying is push past that feeling. That feeling is coming from the negativity that has been put on you. That's that negativity, because that negativity is living off of your life force, and it does not want to lose access to your life force. So push past that feeling that you don't want to do it. Turn you on some good music, light you a beautiful smelling candle, some incense if you have it. None of this is absolutely necessary. These are things that make the bath easier. And get on in your bath. Regular bath. Get your favorite scent of soap and get your favorite scent of oil to put on once you get out. Regular, and wash your body. Look at your body as you wash her. Gaze upon yourself as you washing yourself. This is your extra bath that you do just because you love yourself so much. Get into that step. Next step, drink you some herbal tea. For your beginning, I don't want you to even bother with a specific herbal tea. I just want you to make sure that it ain't Lipton's. It ain't Earl Grey. It ain't that. I just want you to make sure it's not that. Go and buy you some herbal tea, whatever calls to you, right? Bush tea. Get you some good bush tea. I was in Barbados one time. I was talking to an elder, and I said, well, mommy, what kind of tea we drink? And she said, bush tea. And I said, which bush? She said, any bush. When you are at a low place, you're going to start. Starting is the most important thing, right? Starting is the most important thing. Greetings, Adora. Please give the family my love. Start. Drink you some tea. Take you a bath, an extra bath, and drink you some tea. Bush tea. Drink bush tea. It don't make no difference which bush. Bush can't hurt you, right? Bush can't hurt you. And I stand by that. I said what I said. Bush can't hurt you. We out here drinking goddamn Monster energy drinks and Red Bull. And if somebody say drink Bush tea, we talking about, well, what are the side effects of that? What's the side effects with, well, Monster? Bush can't hurt you. So as you start, bush tea. Get you some bush tea. Drink you some bush tea. Extra bath, bush tea. Adorn yourself. Whatever you have, adorn yourself. Whatever earrings you have, put your earrings on. From the time you were little, black girls, where my black girls at? Your mama didn't let you leave the house. Your auntie didn't let you leave the house without your earrings on. My mother did not pierce my ears until I was 14. Oh, my grandmothers were upset because a little black girl ain't out in the world without her earrings on. Do you hear the wisdom of our grandmothers? This is what they were doing. This is protection they were giving us. You take your extra bath, you drink your bush tea, put on your earrings. Earrings, what they call them where I'm from, because I'm from the South. They say earrings. Put on your earrings. Don't be going out the house without your earrings on. Right? Put on your earrings. What else do we put on? What my West Indian people in the chat? Put your bangles on. From the time my children were born, bangles were sent for them from the West Indies. And now we out here in the world without our bangles on? We know better than this. Our grandmothers taught us better than this. Put your earrings on. Put your bangles on. Exactly. Exactly. We ain't out here in the world like that. Our grannies gave us earrings. Our grannies gave us bangles. We out here in the world void. We void out here in the world. Exactly. And then after that, what? Do something with your hair. Do something with your hair. Exactly. Your mama still going, and you ain't got no earrings. Your mama still gonna ask you. You done came out the house without some earrings. Your mama still gonna ask you if she is alive. My mama still gonna ask me from the spirit realm. You going to the store without no earrings on? From the spirit realm, my mama still gonna ask me. Adorn yourself. This is a work of protection. This is how you protect yourself out in this world. This is how our grandmothers survived the horrors of white supremacy. Diasporic African women have been doing this since we got here. Put your earrings on. Put your bangles on. Don't be out here in the world without your bangles. Don't be out here in the world without your earrings. Don't do that. We weren't raised to do that. And then what? All. Don't be out here without the protection of the oil. When I was in Nigeria, I asked the ancestors, I asked the elders. Ashe, all of those people are probably ancestors today. But I asked the elders about the oils. And they said it helps you to slide through life easily. It helps you to slide through life. Put your oil on. You out here ashy? Ash is a sin in the Black community. All over the diaspora and on the continent. You ashy? We don't do it. Oil yourself. Wear your bangles. Wear your earrings. You ain't old? Exactly. This is protection. This is how you get negativity up off of you, and this is how you keep negativity from getting on you. Put your earrings on. Put your necklaces on. Put your bangles on. Oil yourself. Do your hair. Do your hair. When we were little, our grandmothers with all the beautiful, intricate cornrows, we call them cornrows in the South. The beautiful, intricate braiding they would do. Oh, baby, and then they would put the beads on it and we would clank all day long, right? We was clanking, right? Or they would give you a big old fat ponytail and put a beret on the end of it. And we was clanking, right? That clanking, that's our birthright. That jingling, that's our birthright. Take care of your hair. Do something with your hair. Fix your hair up. Oil that hair. Adorn that hair. Do something with that hair. Right? Do your hair. Right? This is protection. This is protection. This is a spell of safety. This is a covering. Right? Put you on something that you love. Put you on some clothes that you love. Some adornment that you love. This is my beautiful silk after class robe. One of my godchildren brought it for me for my birthday last year. And it's silk. It's beautiful. It's made out of saris. And so when I come out of class and the students and the administration and the craziness of working at a HBCU is sitting on my head, I come home, I ranch off, which we call it in the South, you ranch off, and I put on my beautiful silk robe. Put on you something beautiful that you love to see. That's a beautiful color. Right? Now, 2.0 anklets. 2.0 waist beads. Right? That's the next level of it. 2.0 toe rings. 2.0 rings. This is 2.0 level. Right? But at the very least, extra bath. However many baths you take a day, add one. You should be at least 2 just to deal with this world. Water is a portal, right? When you are underneath something negative, you have forgotten who you are. You have forgotten the reason that you entered into the womb of your mother. You have forgotten the reason that you decided to be born. When you're up underneath something negative, you have forgotten. right? Taking exquisitely good care of yourself, you will remember. Ashe, Sister April, you were terminated from your job. You walked out. I know that's right, baby. Put that lipstick on and was gone. Because we know that bigger and better is always around the corner for one who loves and takes care of herself, right? We say good riddance to whatever that job was. And we congratulate you as you walk into your bigger and your better and what actually will serve you and what actually fits a goddess such as yourself. Yeah, you got to oil your hair. Exactly. Exactly. My grandma and our mom used to oil our hair, used to scratch our scalp and oil our hair. It was a ritual. It was a ritual. Do not forget who you are. And when you feel low, know that that is you forgetting. That is you being taken outside of yourself, out of your body. And taking exquisitely good care of yourself puts you back in there. Negative things are able to work and are able to take hold because they take you out of who you are. They make you forget the power that you have. They make you forget your beauty and your brilliance and the light that you bring. That's what negative things do. Whether it is a spell, whether it is a negative work, that's how it works. Is by pulling you up out of yourself, by placing a doubt in your mind as to whether or not you are the bad bitch that you know yourself to be. It places a doubt. And that little bit of doubt, if you feed it, grows and grows and grows and grows till you look up like I did, and you're the wrong person's wife, living in a little bitty ass structure, driving a little bitty ass car, as a woman of abundance who creates all of the time. So creates many children, creates many businesses, creates much artistic beauty. I need big spaces. I need wide open spaces. I'm a big bitch. I'm a big bitch. I need big shit. Right? But I woke up to find my big self squoze up in something that I couldn't even fit into because I let a little seed of doubt be placed, and the seed of doubt got fed as opposed to this body getting fed, as opposed to this skin getting fed, as opposed to this hair getting fed, right? That seed of doubt was getting fed. You have got to be meticulous about where you place your energy. And the best place that you can place it is upon thine self. Place that energy right on here. All that love, all that energy, all that care that this white masculinist imperialism is trying to force you to give out, to put on somebody else, baby, the global minority society was built on your energy. The currency of Europe and the United States is your energy. So all of that energy that they keep saying, you should put that out. I want you to turn it in every time, every day, every time. Every time you feel like, oh, I need to work harder. Oh, I need to grind. Oh, I sleep when I'm dead. Every time you think something like that, I want, I'm going to put that energy in. I'm going to take one more bath. I'm going to drink one more cup of herbal tea. Instead of grinding harder, love yourself harder. I'm going to cook myself even less processed meal. I'm going to go out here and just eat me some edible flowers. I'm going to find the exact bush I need for the things that my body is doing. That's the bush I'm getting ready to drink. Come on with it, right? Come on with it. Taking exquisitely good care breaks every spell. And that spell that was on me, that spell was given to that man by the best. The best. And that spell would have stayed on me to today. I would have been under that spell right now, and I know it. Had Oshun had I not requested and begged and beseeched and cried on her bosom at the Oshun River, and had she not said, "This daughter, this is it, baby. You just got to remember who you are. Remember who you are. And love it. Love every nook, every cranny, every roll, every piece, every stretch mark, every pimple, every mole. Love it. Caress up on it. Oil it down. Sing sweet songs to it. Find the sweetest smelling oil in the world and put it up on yourself. Right? Put it in that hair, them old glorious curls and coils. Right? That gray. Put it in there. Right? Adorn that body. Put your earrings on like our grandmamas taught us. Right? Put your bangles on like our grandmamas taught us. Put your rings and your anklets and your toe rings and your waist beads like our grandmothers taught us. We were raised like this. And here we all the way over here talking about clean girl aesthetics and minimalism. Oshun forbid. Oshun forbid. Some minimalism. Who? Ain't nothing minimal over here. We are the global majority. Everything is majority, is major up in this motherfucker. Forever and always. Forbid. We forbid the minimum of anything. Right? Taking exquisitely good care of yourself will break the spell. Will break the spell immediately. You're going to wake up. Your eyes are going to open. You're going to take that first extra bath and you're going to weep. A bath is a cleansing and a cord cutting by itself. And after that weeping, you're going to feel yourself having been released and liberated. I dare say delivered. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, she knew. And here you are. You have found it. Yes. Ashe. Ashe. The spirit of Oshun, they are saying, Oreyeye Alade Koju. Alade Koju means she who cleans me from the inside out. Adupwe, for that reminder. Oshun is she who cleans you from the inside out. Do you hear it? Do you hear what our grandmothers reminded us? When I had my first child, my mother said, now you're going to have to start waking up before the baby so that you have time for yourself. Remember when you would get up in the morning, your grandmother would have been up for hours. And my grandmother would already be dressed, baby. Dressed, earrings on, hair done, lipstick on, just to be in her house. Right? It's from the inside out. That is the power. And you drink your tea. My mother would get up in the morning and drink her tea. Drink her tea and look out into her backyard and watch the critters roam in her backyard. And by the time we got up, breakfast had already been made. My mama was dressed. She had been outside. She had done a little bit of gardening. She had watched them critters. She had drank her tea. This is it. This is a spell of protection that was given to us. If you read anything that colonizers wrote about African women all over the globe, they wrote about us when they enslaved us in the Caribbean. They wrote about us when they enslaved us in the United States. And they said, oh, they don't wear anything but gold. And they wear it in abundance. We was wearing it in abundance when we was enslaved. They said they're going to have on gold rings. They're going to have on gold necklaces. They're going to have on gold rings on their fingers and gold bangles on their arms. And they will not wear anything but gold. And they wear it in abundance. This is what we was doing when we was enslaved. This was colonizers writing about our mothers during the period of enslavement. And you're going to tell me today about some minimalism? Baby, this is how we got out. This is how we got out. Ashe. That's what I'm saying. The nails match the outfit. We would polish our nails on Friday night because we had already picked out our outfits for the week. And so then on Sunday night, because we had already picked out and ironed our outfits for the week, and we would paint them nails to coordinate with them outfits we was wearing during the week. That's how it is. That's how we were raised. This is who we are. This is what brings you up out of those things, regardless of what you are experiencing. This is the magic that brings you up out of the negativity because it brings you back into your body. You have to be in your body to bathe. And then you begin to recognize yourself as you're doing the work of bathing. You recognize and remember who and what you are. As you then oil, you recognizing and remembering who and what you are. As you're doing your hair, you recognizing and remembering who and what you are. As you're putting on your earrings and your necklaces and your bangles and your rings, and your waist beads and your anklets and your toe rings, you're recognizing and remembering who and what you are. This is our path. This is our power and our protection. Yes. And it was the eight. Now, Rashonda talk about her mom was the Avon lady. Avon was what my grandma was always going to put in that bathtub, baby. We had the bubbling oil, and we had the bubble bath, and we had the bath salts, and all the different kind of lotions and powders. Yes. Yes, you have got to take exquisitely good care of yourself. It is your birthright. It is your birthright. So taking care of yourself breaks the spell. This is the beginning of breaking the spell. If you even loosely suspect that someone is doing work against you, do not talk about it. Don't mention it. Don't say nothing. Don't say, I was watching Iola Omi's video and she had done said, get up tomorrow or tonight and take you an extra bath. However many baths you take a day, add one extra in there. Right? Take you an extra bath. Put you some sweet smelling oil in it. Right? Take you a beautiful extra bath or shower or bucket bath. Whatever you take, whatever your house can accommodate. It's not economic. Our ancestral mothers had nothing during the time of enslavement. And they was wearing gold earrings and necklaces and bangles. So this ain't economic. Right? Take your extra bath. Begin now if you suspect any sort of negativity is dragging you down. I don't care what the source of it is, but definitely if you think that it is a spell or negative work, take you an extra bath. Put your earrings on. Don't be leaving out the house without your earrings. Put your bangles on. Go get you some bangles. I don't care where they come from. We ain't getting specific here today. We talking about taking the first steps. As you take those first steps, and yourself comes back into you, then you will get more specific with the types of bangles that you're wearing. But for now, put your bangles on. Put your earrings on. Put your lip gloss on. Right? Or your skin, or your body, or your hair. Do your hair. Right? Put something beautiful in your hair. Put on something beautiful that you love. Right? And let yourself come back into yourself. Remember who you are. Remember why you were born. Remember why you decided to come back to the physical realm in this time, right now. Right? And that is going to drown everything else out. I guarantee you, I promise you, you're going to wake up. Your eyes are going to be open. You're going to be like, damn. I didn't even know. How did I get it? When? How did this happen? I remember the steps, but I don't remember agreeing to this. This is not adequate. This ain't enough. You gonna remember. Aye, bobo. Ashe. See? Child, baby. We gonna talk about that one day. We gonna talk about that one day. How to practicing Pan-Africanism all the way around. It did Black women dirty, right? I was in the Nation of Islam, right? I was loosely a Rasta at one point, right? Even worshiping the Orisha. It do us dirty sometimes. It do us dirty in regards to our self-care. We're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna get into it. Not today, but I hear you. You know I hear you, and you know I have been there. It do us dirty, right? Baby, the skin's so soft. Smelling good and repelling mosquitoes all at the same time. And if anybody gonna do it, a Black woman gonna do it. If anybody gonna figure it out, a Black woman gonna figure it out. And this right here is the Skin So Soft I've been using this whole summer. It's Rihanna. Came up out of Barbados, my second home. This Fenty Skin that she made. Now, what is this scent? This butter drop that is citrus sorbet. This right here has been repelling mosquitoes. Y'all know I spend a large part of the summer in Jamaica. Repelling mosquitoes with citrus sorbet. Yes, indeed. Only a Black woman could do it, baby. Caribbean at that. Barbadian at that. You know? Only ones. All right. Love you guys. Love your support. Happy to see everyone here for this on time message. As I said, as I was listening to my sister, Lisa Marie Goodson, my soul sister, right? She is the person that heals the healers, a master teacher. I encourage everyone to follow her YouTube page. She has 2 pages, Afrocentric Home Decor, because she also does decor and gardening, and then the Higher Elevation channel are both of her pages. As I was listening to her this morning talk about that reawakening she had, I was like, that happened to me too. That happened to me too. And I was like, that's the breaking of a spell. And when I put it up on Instagram, some of my family, New African Vodun family, responded and said, I tell people this all the time. I tell people this all the time. Take care of yourself. And what else did our grandmama say? Keep that house clean. Keep that house clean. The same way you take care of yourself and get that negativity out of yourself, you got to get it out of where you live too. But you got to start with you. Baby, the dusty woke people. They did us dirty. Oh, the sister that I was talking about, Lisa Marie Goodson. Her channels on YouTube are the Higher Elevation channel and Afrocentric Home Decor. Yes. All right. Love to each and every one. Ecstasy, abundance, and bliss, and all of the gifts of Oshun. For all of those who are wishing the same for me and mine. And as always, we wish the lessons of life on those who are ignorant enough to wish a bad bitch otherwise. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a magnificent coming back into yourself weekend. Bathe yourself, oil yourself, eat good food that you cooked, put on your hair rings and your bangles, do your hair, and put your lip gloss on. All right. Peace, y'all.